What's going on, guys? Welcome to another exciting video where I break down scenes from the hit series The Mentalist and tell you which ones are fact, which ones are fiction, and in this one, I'm even going to teach you a really cool way to convince your friends that you could read their minds and make some money. Here we go.
How do I know those are real diamonds?
They look real to me. Here, let's have a look. You seen it before? Here. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay.
The scam's working.
No, this is not the diamonds. What?
Plastic. Forwarding the last number dialed.
Hey!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You son of a whore.
Wow, okay, so what a great way to start this video with something that just seems so bizarre. So he's in a car with a suspect. She's got a gun on him and her cell phone, and he needs both. And he's got a bottle of water and the diamonds that she wants, or supposedly. And all of a sudden, he starts giving her the bottle and taking her phone, and then he gives her the diamonds, and he takes the gun. It seems like she's just handing him all these things. And we even hear Agent Lisbon, who's watching, say, the scam is working. Well, that is exactly what this is. It's a scam. In fact, it's called the Russian scam. Now, don't go Googling Russian scam, because all you're going to get is pages full of information on online scams from Russia. That's not what this is. The Russian scam in my world, the world of mentalism and psychology, is based on one of the strongest psychological principles, which is called reciprocity. Reciprocity basically means that when somebody gives us something or does something for us, we have a basic need to reciprocate, to give something back. And that's what this is based on. Essentially, with the Russian scam, the scammer has a couple of objects that are unimportant, and they hand those to the subject and take things from them that are important: wallet, cell phone, whatever. And for the subject, for a quick second, because there's this trade happening, they sort of kind of accept it for a quick second. Now, I'll be the first to admit that there aren't a lot of mentalists who actually do this. But one of the best mentalists in the world, Derren Brown, has an amazing video where he demonstrates this multiple times, and I'll leave a link in the description where you guys could see this being demonstrated. As for me, I have attempted this multiple times about 10 years ago when I was in LA filming for a TV special. And I had a very different technique, and I think you guys will appreciate this. Basically, I would do a card trick, and I would put the card inside their wallet, and I would have them hold on to it. And I would take the wallet and I would show them the card, and in that moment, while their mind is amazed, I hand them the card and I take their wallet. And I have footage of this working. I've never showed this to anyone. You guys are gonna see it for the first time. You'll notice the gentleman is mic'd, and that's because we told him we're gonna do some magic for you. Do you mind if we mic you up?
I'm just gonna hold that right inside your wallet so I can't switch it. See right there. Hold out your hand. I'm gonna put that right there, okay? I'm gonna just take that card out that I didn't switch. I was in your wallet the entire time, right? I couldn't have switched that. I'm gonna take that out over here, okay? And what was the card that you picked?
4 o'clock.
And that was with you the whole time. That card was with you the whole time. And the one card I put in your hand before we started is actually the 4 of clubs. Isn't that crazy that was in your hand the whole time? Oh, you know what? Keep that, because it's okay to keep that. It's okay to keep that. Right, I'm out of here, man. Enjoy. My wallet. Oh, did I keep that? Did I have your wallet? I'm sorry. I forgot I was doing that trick. And you handed me your wallet. You gave it to me.
I didn't give you my wallet.
You gave me your wallet?
So you picked my pocket?
I didn't pick your pocket. You gave it to me. You don't remember doing that?
No, not at all.
It's cool, huh?
No.
Yeah. We'll show you the tape because we recorded the whole thing. We got that on tape.
He didn't leave because of her. He left because of you.
What are you talking about?
I think this was Travis's room. There's old post-it tape here on the walls. There's stickers behind this door. And dents up here from where a lacrosse ball was hitting it. Travis plays lacrosse, doesn't he?
He used to before he got into drugs.
And here, this pane of glass has a crack in it right at elbow or fist height. Must have been quite the argument between you two.
Okay, that's enough.
The only question is, did you take his room as soon as he left?
All right, so this is really one of my favorite scenes in the whole series, because very often we see Patrick Jane coming to these crazy conclusions, but we don't see how he got there. It's never explained. And this is a case where he actually explains what he's seeing and what he's understanding from that. So We see the stickers on the back of the door, which obviously that looks like something a teenage boy would have done. Then the lacrosse marks on the wall are unmistakable. Now, in the very first video I did for you guys, I talked about Patrick Jane's capacity to find out a lot of things about someone on a couple of small observations, and a few people, not a lot, most of you really appreciated it, but a few people really misunderstood what I was saying when I said that it's mostly BS. What I meant by that is that most mentalists don't do that. Most mentalists are not very good at taking little clues and figuring a lot of big things out. We're good at faking that, but we always have secrets and tricks to know things about you, and it's never or very rarely by observing things like that. Speaking of cold readings, now we're going to look at a scene where somebody is trying to get a read on Patrick Jane, and he gives one of the best responses, and this is something you can say to someone when they're trying to cold read you, and it'll stop them dead in their tracks, and we're going to look at that. But before we do me a huge favor, guys, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on for more amazing mentalism and hypnosis content.
It may take you some time to understand me.
You're filled with equal parts self-loathing and self-love. You're addicted to control. You're terrified of confinement.
Who's my favorite Beatle? Huh?
Wow, wow, wow. So this guy is getting a read on him, and Patrick Jane stops him mid-sentence and goes, "Who's my favorite Beatle?" Now think about that. If somebody is very good at guessing things about you, 1 out of 4, because there are 4 Beatles, shouldn't be that difficult, right? But Patrick knows that this will put the guy in a bind and he will not be able to answer that. So let me know in the comments, why do you think that he said that? What is it about that challenge that would stop someone who's trying to do a cold read on you to stop and say, I don't know, I'm like, that would just get them stuck? Why did he ask him to name his favorite Beatle? Let me know in the comments. I want you guys to think about this, and in the next video, I will tell you exactly why that works. But it does. If you say that to someone who's doing a cold read, they will not be able to answer it. Oh, and it doesn't have to be the Beatles. It could be any band. It could be the Backstreet Boys. It is impossible for anyone doing a reading on me to know that my favorite Backstreet Boy is AJ.
Tell me more about your husband, just anything.
He loves me, loves our son. Family is everything to him. And I've noticed a change lately.
What sort of a change?
He seems preoccupied.
And that's when you began to wonder if he was being unfaithful.
That's right.
Something's coming through. Feel it with me. Here. Yes, I'm feeling that Paul hasn't been 100% honest with you. He hasn't been happy. You know that, don't you? Do you sense someone else in his life? Your senses never lie.
Yes. Yes, I do. There's someone else. Is he leaving me?
You have to talk to him, Jill. You have to tell Paul not to ruin what you have together.
Oh man, I have such a strong love and hate relationship with that scene. So if you look at that scene, that is such a great example of a psychic reading. First of all, it's a flashback. So Patrick Jane left that life behind. He no longer takes people's money to scam them like this. And I love the fact that he's turned off by that practice completely, because I am as well. I hate mentalists who use our techniques to do things like that. It's a perfect example of something that somebody might have a session like that and go, oh my God, he knew all these things about me. And somebody would say, he knew I wasn't happy. He knew that there was another woman. He knew that I was being lied to. But if you really look at the way he handled that, it's beautifully scripted, because he never said any of that. He started by asking her to say things, and he just listened. And she said how, you know, he loves his family, but lately she's felt a bit of a change. And obviously she's talking about him having an affair. Then what does he say? He doesn't say, he's having an affair. He never says that. Psychics or cold readers never make claims like that because it's hard to back out of. What does he say instead? He goes, your husband hasn't been 100% honest with you. This is a classic cold reading technique called the 100. Basically, nobody is 100% of anything. I can make any statement and say, you're not always 100% confident in your own choices. It's true. So he says that. Then he says, feel this with me, feel this with me. What do you think? Your senses never lie. So he puts it on her. She's the one who says there's another woman in his life, then asks what she should do. And he goes, or if he's going to cheat on me. And again, he gets out of it like a champ and he says, you must talk to him. You must talk to him. So this is something that someone who believes in psychic readings would leave and say, that was so successful. He knew all these things. But if you go back and look at it, he said very little actual statements. Okay, now we're gonna look at a scene that I've been obsessed with from the day I saw it. And I'm gonna actually teach you guys a way that you could convince your friends that you're reading their minds and win a little bit of money. So let's take a look right now.
I want you to take a deep breath in and out. Will you concentrate? Name as many 20th century presidents as you can now.
Coolidge, Wilson, Roosevelt, Eisenhower, Truman, Kennedy, Nixon, LBJ.
Good. Take another breath in. I am listening to your thoughts. Don't shout. I can hear you. Open your eyes.
Wow. You did have a 25% shot.
We could do it all day, and I would get it every time.
Give me that. How'd you do it?
You told me, Lisbon. Our minds are in sync.
Okay, so first of all, let me tell you why I've been obsessed with this scene. It's because they never explain how he did it, but it's also because we're missing information to know how he did it, and there are multiple ways this could have been done, and I'm pretty much gonna tell you all of them right now so you could try it with your friends. Let me start by explaining what I mean by we're missing information. We never saw the instructions he gave her to hide the money. If I say to you, there are 4 cups in front of you, think of a number between 1 and 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm gonna turn around, hide the money under that cup. It seems like it's a very fair choice, but it's not. By wording it that way, I really increase my odds of the money being in one of the center cups. Because by saying think of a number between 1 and 4, very few people go for 1 or 4. So you really increase your odds of it going in the middle. But in this case, let's assume he didn't do that. Let's assume he said, I'm gonna turn around, put the money under one of the cups. There are still 2 very likely ways that he could have done this. One is more psychological, one is more, or entirely, trickery, and here's what they are. The psychological one, the reason I think he may have done this is because he says to her, clear your thoughts, name as many 20th century presidents as you can, and this is something we often do with hypnosis to get your mind off of something. There's an old trick in mentalism where if you have somebody hide a coin in one of their 2 hands and you don't know where it is and you have them close their eyes and distract their thoughts, if you look at their nose, more than 70% of the time, it's pointing very subtly towards the hand where the coin is, because subconsciously, without wanting to, we slightly tilt our heads. The reason I think he might be doing that is because he's doing all this psychological stuff. The reason I don't think he's doing that is because she says you had a 25% chance and he goes, I can do this all day. So that leads me to believe that he had a more concrete secret. So I think the most likely way that he did that, and this is the way you could do it for your friends, is this. The answer is actually a question. Why mugs? Why couldn't she hide it in her hands, in her pockets? Why couldn't it be under styrofoam cups? Why mugs? What do mugs have that other cups don't? Well, quite simply, a handle. There's an overhead shot at some point where we see the 4 cups, and the second one from our top, you'll notice, is the only one that the handle isn't pointing in the exact same direction as the other 3. That just so happens to be the mug that the money is also under. So it's very likely that he set the cups down and made sure that the handles are pointing all in the exact same direction, and he turned around and said, hide the money under one of the cups. Of course, in lifting the cup, she would have subtly moved that handle a little bit, and so when he turns back, you'll notice in that screenshot, it hasn't moved much, but just a little bit. It's not pointing in the exact same direction. Now, if you think that's a little bit obvious, when you do this for your friends, you could simply do this. You could put the mugs down and just remember where the handle is pointing, like on a clock. So you put the first one down pointing to 12 o'clock, the second one to 3 o'clock, then 6, then 9. Turn around, somebody could hide something in one of the mugs. When you turn around, look at those handles again. One of them will be a little bit off, and that will be the secret to how you know every time and win some money and buy the drinks. But I still do want to hear from you guys. Do you think for sure that the handles is the way he did this? Do you think he was using the psychological tell of maybe her nose pointing, a combination of both? Or is there something else you think he might have used that you noticed that I didn't see? Let me know in the comments which one you think he used. I think it's the handle, but let me know if it's something else. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you on the next one.